cave not growing.
Oh, that means your flash will work.
I mean the one next to it. I just put my sunglasses away because we were going in the cave.
Won't be for long.
This is a lot.
Nice and breaks because you get squeaks like that. You're in your weird pads.
This is a liar. I don't.
We got her.
Hi, pretty girl.
There it is.
There it is. Going in.
Here we go.
Did you say duck down? Well, to let us know.
You'll probably be all right, buddy. You're probably.
See how low the ceiling is? Look. Watch your head. Oh yeah, you're gonna get moved on. Wow. Look at that. There's a cave.
Alright, now this is our photographer up on the hill, and they're going to take a quick picture of all of us. Everybody look up there and smile. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 8.
Alright.
We can buy these after.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy them.
The head is going to
Thank
get
you.
lower on the driver's side, so make sure we're watching our heads to this area. And if you hear these guys up here yell, ouch, duck a little lower.
Good advice.
Test one.
I bang my head on the.
I know. It's like I
bang my head on the lobster. I can take that. Duck down a little bit.
You're good, Mike.
Well, you shouldn't get a walk.
Whoa.
That's why you shouldn't call it walk. Wow. I saw some.
Yeah.
You dripped down.
I was about to stay on the driver's side, but at least I didn't.
Isn't it
So dark. It's so dark up ahead.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Alright, yeah.
Oh, where are we now?
Alright, now welcome to the twilight zone of the cave. Every cave is going to have 3 zones. Back there where we came in is the light zone. And up there where it's dark, well, we call that the dark zone. We like to name things pretty accurately in here. And animals from the outside only come as far as the twilight zone because there's no resources up in the dark zone for them, like food or anything like that. Now, I'm going to tell you all a little bit about the formations we have in this area. On the ceiling, we'll have these formations called soda straws. It's the little white things poking down.
Is this salt?
It's not salt. Now, these soda straws are going to form whenever water drips in from the ceiling, and as it drips down, it's going to leave behind a mineral called calcite. And eventually, they'll get long like these soda straws back here, and over time, they'll start to look something like these. Anybody know what these are called?
Stalactites.
Stalactites, yes. Now, we have something in this cave that not a lot of caves have. Over here on the driver's side, we have a garden bed. So it was the 1930s, the Great Depression. What do we think the owner would have been farming inside the cave? Not marijuana, guys.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms, yeah. So the owner would grow little bun-top mushrooms down here and sell them at the Springfield Farmers Market, and that's how he got his family through the Great Depression. So he was a pretty nifty guy. You could even say he was a fun guy. I cannot say the jokes get any better from here. Alright, now, any questions so far? Now, this is the Solutions Cave, so all of this area around us is limestone. This is all limestone rock. And limestone is going to be full of fossils of ancient sea creatures. Now, if everyone looks up on the ceiling with their flashlight, y'all have too many soda straws back there to probably see any fossils, but up here, you see all those little spirally looking things? Those are crinoids, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool. I'll try and find some back here for y'all. Yeah, right there. Those are all crinoids. Those are pretty cool.
You see him?
Oh yeah, y'all got a bunch of crinoids back here.
Are they sparkly ears?
It's that little, it has a spiral pattern to it.
Oh, look, he's recording the video.
Yeah,
Live
y'all
for
got all the
YouTube.
soda straws back here, but over here y'all can see the
Hello,
crinoids
everyone.
really well.
Hello, everyone. Subscribe to Darren Reed now.
There's a lot right here. Pretty cool stuff. But we'll go ahead and get pulled up to our next stop, and we'll talk about other cave formations we have in here. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
You put your phone on airplane mode. So you know how many battery when you get out of here. My phone's already 50% because I didn't plug it in last night, so I have to be extra cautious today.
To check.
Oh, make sure.
Right. Well, or that the ground above is poisonous.
What is that?
Underground Classroom Adventure Tour.
Adventure Tour.
We should build a house.
See, now it means they're way up high. Here, look to see.
Yeah. Look at your knowledge.
There's a low ceiling to a high ceiling.
Alright, now welcome to the auditorium. This is going to be the biggest area in our cave. And on the ceiling up here we have another stalactite. But this is a special kind of stalactite known as a cave curtain or cave drapery. They form a little differently, and you can tell because of the fabric-like texture that it has. And on the ground down here we have another type of formation. Do y'all know what this one's called?
Stalagmites.
Stalagmite. Yes, very good. So this stalagmite is growing from the same group of water as that stalactite on the ceiling. So one day these two will get really big and tall, and they'll meet in the middle, and it'll be known as a cave column or cave pillar. And we have one more type of formation in this area known as flowstone. Can everybody see that orange stuff on the back wall here? That's the flowstone. It looks a little different because it has an orangey, almost rusty color. That's because of the iron content in it. So the different formations in here will have different hues, different tints of color. That's all because of the different trace minerals in them. Now here's the big question for everybody. I want to hear some guesses from y'all. Don't be shy. How old do we think this big stalagmite right here is?
1.2 million.
1.2 million, 15,000.
It's like 30,000.
30,000.
50 years.
Really high. The last tour I had was guessing like 50, 100 years. Well, the official answer is that it's really, really old.
See, now we're smarter than the last one.
Yeah. Now, we don't know exactly how old it is, but we do know that on average, these cave formations will grow about 1 cubic inch every 100 years. So that's like taking an ice cube about a cubic inch, setting it on top, letting it melt down. That's how much it'll have grown in 100 years. Yeah, not much. But while we don't know the age of this cave formation, we'll get pulled up to our next stop, and I'll show you one that we do know the exact age of. Y'all ready?
Yep. Crazy to think that drips of water
That form that.
over millions of years.
Now that's because it is a well casing, it is man-made, not a cave formation. But it was put here back in 1941, and we've been able to learn a lot about the cave from this pipe here. So you can see that there's white stuff covering it. Y'all know what that is? Calcite, yeah. So the calcite has started forming over this well casing. So the cave is kind of making it a part of its own system. And on the ceiling up here, can y'all see those little white ridges? Yeah. Those are baby cave curtains that started forming whenever they put this well casing in about 83 years ago. And they're only 3/4 of an inch long. So if this tiny cave formation is 83 years old, how old do y'all think these are? Yeah, they're really old, like everything else in this cave. So I'll tell you all a little bit about the discovery of the cave. So it was discovered back in 1862 by a dog named Juno, and his owner, John Knox, would follow in shortly after him. Now, at the discovery, the original and only known entrance to the cave was just an 18-inch opening that went on for 20 feet before you could stand up. And John Knox would crawl through that in complete darkness with nothing but a candlelight. Pretty brave. Who would do that? Show of hands. Okay, you're a real one. Now, we're going to pull up to our next stop, and we're going to experience the cave in those same conditions John Knox did the day it was discovered, in complete darkness. But first, we got to let this Jeep up here get by us. They're going to drive by. We can't get past it until they do. So, any questions so far?
The little things that look like
Cages?
Yeah, the cages. What are they for?
Yeah, so that is an evaporation studies that the Ozark Underground Laboratory is hosting, and they're measuring evaporation rates at different parts of the cave, and it's in a cage so raccoons and stuff don't get in there.
There you go.
Yep. Or if you want a smart, elegant answer, they are Tupperware traps, and we caught one. Any other questions?
We've caught the natural.
The water right there?
So we don't have to worry about
I don't believe that is a natural source of water right there. I believe that's the only source of water in here that is like a filtered system. Yeah.
So what about when you guys get heavy rains?
It floods.
It floods.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I'll talk more about the flooding and how bad it floods whenever we get up to a sinkhole up here that we have. Anybody wondering about our bat population?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a very small bat population, about 10 to 20 of them, and they're all tiny tricolor bats about the size of my thumb, and they're very, very cute. Yeah. There's always a possibility that we'll see one flying around. I've seen one on a tour before, but they're really hard to spot whenever they're not hibernating. They like to hide over the dark crevices and you can't see them. But we're always on the lookout for those tricolor bats.
So serious.
Oh, did you ask?
We're not going to go ahead and get pulled up to our next stop and experience complete darkness.
What? It's fine. Surrounded by
This is an older Jeep. I'm actually feel more comfortable because it's a newer Jeep and it's garbage.
really, really old.
It's about to go midnight in seconds. Whoa.
In that color.
Whoa, I love that. Hey.
Look at this one behind us.
All right, are we ready for complete darkness?
Ready, Quinny?
There we go.
If everyone can turn their cell phones over, make sure no lights peeking through. All right, and